Hey everybody, welcome back. James Rule, XRP, back in Texas. I got to go to New York. I got to go to Ripple Swell. We're going to break down some of that today. I'm mainly going to show you photos and a couple of video clips. Yeah, my throat's a little scratchy because I went from dry, cool weather to humidity back in Texas, and it always messes with me. But I'll tell you what, just coming back and just pinching myself, asking myself, did this really happen? Was I really there? And yes, I was really there. So Wednesday night, there was this huge party. Ripple puts on the best parties, and we were up late and we had unlimited drinks, unlimited food, and I stayed up pretty late. So yesterday my flight was at 11 a.m. and I thought, you know what? I've only had a couple hours sleep, but I'm going to sleep so good on that flight back to Houston, that 3-hour flight. Well, what happens? There's 3 chatty Cathys sitting in the seats right behind me, and there's a baby crying 5 seats behind me. And I thought, well, you just have to laugh at it. I drove from Houston back to my home last night. And I slept all night. I think I got 12 hours sleep. And I got up this morning and I thought, wow, what an incredible time it has been, just meeting so many incredible people. And yeah, of course, I'm at Ripple Swell and everything crashes. The market crashes. $100,000 Bitcoin, $2.21 XRP. That's okay, because the opportunity I had to rub shoulders with the team at Ripple, with banks, with developers, with XRPL Labs, with XRPL Commons, with Zaman, with Ripple, it was just incredible. And I pinned this post on my page, and it says, words cannot express the gratitude I have for Ripple in the XRP community. Getting to experience, learn, network, and discover future developments in this space firsthand motivates me to continue teaching the crypto teachers. The excitement from everyone was overwhelming, and the future looks extremely bright. Just hodl. And I tagged a lot of people I got to meet, team with Ripple, developers, people in the community. It was just so extremely exciting to meet people that I network with daily in spaces and on different, avenues of social media. And we're going to go through some of it. So the first night, Monday night, we had like an introduction meeting, and it was on the top floor of this beautiful high rise. And this is the Ripple Triskelion, the logo, Ripple logo. And it was kind of like a 3D logo. It was at the very top. I got a snap before everybody started getting there. Had a really good time. So what's funny, the first day of Swell, which was Tuesday, I get there at 7 in the morning. The public couldn't come in till 7:30. So I walk in like I own the place, and I'm in here and I filmed this little section here before anybody even showed up, or where everybody was going to speak. Ripple Swell, the chairs were set up, everything was awesome. And shortly after I filmed this video, this lady with Ripple, real nice lady, she came up to me. She said, well, you can't be here. You're not supposed to be here till 7:30. So what's funny about it, I had a light blue lanyard holding my tag, my name, James Rule XRP, blah, blah, blah. And it was a light blue tag. And she goes, the light blue lanyards are for Ripple employees only. I'm like, I'm not part of Ripple? Come on. So she had to change my lanyard color. I had to go back out in the lobby. I had to sit down for about 30 minutes. But, just getting a chance just to sneak in there and film all this stuff early. That's the way I am. I'm always early to things. And if I could sneak in early, I'm going to get in early, baby. So, man, Ray Fuentes took this shot of me, and I'm standing by the Ripple logo. It's like a 3-dimensional logo of Ripple with the lights behind it, and I'm wearing my XRP coat, and it's got the Phoenix inside. I'll show you here in a minute. I had the best time. I got so many compliments on this jacket, and I had such a great time. So if we keep going, this was on one of the bus stop advertisements. It says, ignore the closing bell. Global transactions 24/7 with Ripple. And if I click on the photo and if I zoom in, you could see that BlackRock's corporate office is right here, people. BlackRock's corporate office is right there, and Ripple's right here. And yes, someone with BlackRock was at Ripple Swell, and he spoke on a panel and talked about tokenization and talked about blockchain and all that good stuff. So here we go. we have Crypto Queen, and we have Dan Fisher with Ripple. This was at XRP Community Night. Dan Fisher, wonderful individual, wonderful guy with Ripple. I appreciate everything Dan does because we communicate all the time. And Crypto Queen from Australia, she is so wonderful. She is just so exciting. She brings a smile to the crowd every time somebody sees her, and I had such a wonderful time. Yeah, here's my jacket. She took a picture of this. It says James Rule XRP, and it's got the phoenixes on the inside, the phoenix here, and just the XRP logos. And I actually got the opportunity to get one of these Ripple Triskelion pins. And I was speaking with David Schwartz, Joel Katz, and he goes, James, where'd you get that? I know. Well, I was early to the party and I had the blue lanyard on and they handed me one. So I'm assuming it's mine. He goes, David Schwartz said, well, I collect those. I have like 10 of those. I'm like, well, you're not getting this one. Let's keep going. So I got to meet Chip and I got to meet Liz and her sister at the community night party, November 5th, which is the last night. And we had so many beverages. And this is Chip on the chain. We were all swag and got to stand in front of the XRP community night mirror. And then I got to meet Liz. She's from Houston, and her sister, wonderful individuals, just having the times of our life and just enjoying it. And I finally got to meet Lady K. Lady K, she goes, Rule XRP wins best dress. And I said, oh, thank you. And Lady K is wonderful because she's one of the ladies in this space that has a node. She is building on top of the XRP ledger, and she is just so wonderful. I mean, she is just as nice, if not nicer in person than she is on social media and spaces and all that stuff. It was really nice meeting her and her husband. Here we go. The XRP sandwich with Stu Alderati and Bihado in XRP. Now, this guy here, he's had his jacket for a while. And I got mine here recently. And this is Stu Alderati with Ripple. And he's right in the middle of us. And I mean, he's like, hey, XRP, baby. You know, Stu is like on the general counsel at Ripple. And he's now with the National Cryptocurrency Association. So he, like myself, is educating the community. And, you know, I spoke with Stu and I said, Stu, man, I've been really focused on these crypto scams. People are getting scammed out of their XRP and other cryptos. And he said, James, what I need you to do, you know, National Cryptocurrency Association is now focusing on scams and stuff. He said, next time you get someone scammed, send me an instant message. And I'm like, are you ready for a huge list of instant messages? But anyway, really great meeting Stu and the team at Ripple. So this was the first night when we all kind of got to introduce each other on the top floor. And yes, I got to meet the Kwok brothers and Ashko Blue. Ashish Burla, Ever North. And here's Eric with Chainera and the Kwok brothers. And we had such a good time. And Ashish Burla is just out talking to everybody like David Schwartz and just wonderful people. And like I said, I'm just showing you a bunch of people. So on the last night, David Schwartz spoke in Lost Art, the individual that has the silver coins, just a wonderful individual, filmed David Schwartz speaking at the XRP Community Night Party. And here's what Schwartz had to say.
I know a lot of you live in New York, for some of you it's a bit of a trip. This is officially XRP Community Night. They always feel like my party. You guys are my people. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm just completely overwhelmed after Swell. It's just been amazing. So how many of you know what huge landmark XRP hit today? Probably about
100 million ledgers!
I hear someone up here. The 100 million ledger closed. 100. It's just a mind-blowing landmark for a decentralized layer 1 network to close that many ledgers.
100 million more.
100 million more, yeah. I'm just... It's been, you know, there's been so much innovation in the space on the ledger itself with new features, with DeFi, enterprise adoption. I don't know what to say. I'm just completely overwhelmed with emotion. Talking to all of you guys have been amazing. This community support, it means everything to me. I think it means everything to everybody at Ripple. And I think it means everything to the developers working to build in this space. I just want to thank everyone for coming. You know, I'm officially retiring at the end of this year, but but nothing's gonna stop me from coming to events like this. Pure joy. And so I want all you guys, you should celebrate. This is an amazing day. That is an amazing event. And I just want to say a shout out to all the people who put in the effort to make sure that would happen. Thank you.
Awesome. And I spoke with David Schwartz for about 30, 45 minutes. And there were several people around me, during Swell, and he answered questions. And, David, his mind never sleeps. I bet when he's in bed, he talks in his sleep. I bet his wife's like, okay, are you ever going to close your mouth? But David Schwartz, he's leaving as the CTO at Ripple. He's still going to be building on top of the XRP ledger. And he is also on the board of directors with Brad Garlinghouse at Evernorth. And Ashish told me that Evernorth now has roughly $1.2 billion in XRP under management, people. $1.2 billion in XRP. Okay, this was really cool. I met the team at Gemini. I got to hang out with the team at Gemini. And Gemini created this little short clip on TikTok, and I had to play it back because I'm included in it. Check this out. This was fantastic. Watch this.
Checking out this Ripple Swell event. Registering was super easy, and they had this cool sign, coffee get me fueled up, and the floor was buzzing, XRP people up. And then they have this cool museum with all this crypto related stuff showing off of the greatest things in the crypto world and this Mac. But I was getting a little bit hungry, I'm not gonna lie. They had some hors d'oeuvres out, these little energy balls. They're pretty good, but this thing was baby food. And then I had to get some iced tea to spice it up, and then I met James Rule, the XRP legend himself. I mean, he was decked out XRP head to toe. What a guy. But the event floor was cool, and I can't wait to see what's in store for tomorrow at Ripple Swell. Checking out this Ripple Swell.
We had a good time, and incredible. Gemini, and then iTrustCapital was there, and then other organizations. Like I said, the team at Zaman, the team at XRPL Labs, the team at XRPL Commons, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock, banks around the world. I got to network with individuals around the world. We'd have, between Swell speakers, we would have little networking windows between the speakers, and we could communicate with bankers, and it was just incredible because, I consider myself a crypto teacher. I get the news out to many, many, many people around the world, and people were just wanting to talk about the basics, and I was, me, I'm asking questions. Okay, when are y'all going to incorporate the XRP ledger? Are y'all going to use blockchain? Which blockchain are y'all going to use? And they're like, well, we can't talk about that right now because that's private. So the final keynote here, I'm just going to play a couple of minutes. Brad Garlinghouse was interviewed at the very end, the last day, and he's asked a question about XRP. Listen to this.
All right, let's talk about XRP. How does XRP fit into your larger M&A strategy?
Well, XRP, and I sometimes have to remind the world of this, but XRP is at the heart and soul of what Ripple is doing. We care deeply. We have called it our North Star. But at the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. We want to build trust in XRP. We want to build utility in XRP. And we want to build liquidity in XRP. And each of the acquisitions we do, in one way or another, we believe it will do those things. Now, it may not be, some people may look at it and be like, I don't really, scratch their head a little bit. Well, I promise you that we see in the three-dimensional game of chess, we see how we believe that's going to evolve. Sometimes we'll probably do things that are more obvious and some less obvious. That's okay with us.
Right.
So XRP is part of their business, and a big part of their business, people. So here we go. Xtina RP gets this out there, and this was at the very end. And look what Brad Garlinghouse has to say. You got Ripple Swell, and then you got the developers meeting at different times, like in Singapore and Apex and around the world. Well, Brad Garlinghouse came out with some massive news, and I want you to hear this clip right here because next year they're all going to be tied together. People, check this out.
So as I mentioned this morning, this is our 9th Swell. Some of you remember, there are a few people that were here for part of this, but the concept of Swell popped up in 2017, and it was the reaction to Swift wouldn't let us attend Sibos. Some people don't know, it's a true story. We couldn't get space, a booth at Sibos, and so we decided, this was in Toronto, and we decided, Sibos, the land of big banks, we were the disruptors, literally. So we went down the street. We hosted our own event, and admittedly, it was a little bit of a warehouse. It wasn't nearly what we have today, but it was anchored by speakers like Ben Bernanke. And I think very quickly Swift regretted their decision because they created more of a monster by pushing us out. Well, 9 years later, the world looks profoundly different. Some of the biggest financial institutions in the world are here in this room with us, but it's not just them. We have the prime brokers, the application builders, the investment banks, the ETF issuers, as we just discussed, and everyone in between. Crypto and blockchain have moved from being taboo words to being part of the fabric of society. And let's be clear, you are all part of this movement. In fact, you all are this movement. So thank you. I am beyond grateful to have witnessed this fundamental shift in how the financial layer of the internet is changing and evolving. The work is nowhere near done, but if the conversations over the last 2 days have proven anything, it's that although we have come a very long way, we are all just getting started. I've said this before, but it is truly, and I say this somewhat humorously, an amazing time to be alive. We are witnessing the rewiring of financial infrastructure. We're witnessing enabling things that were simply not possible before. It truly is, I believe, the economic opportunity of a lifetime to enable and catalyze this rewiring. I'm extremely proud that Ripple has been leading from the front, both with lawsuits, but in a lot of other ways as well. So for over a decade, we've been leading with transparency, we've been leading with a compliance-first posture, and we've been leading with the goal of championing not just XRP, but the entire industry. I feel extremely lucky to have had the privilege of leading this company, and of course, an honor to be part of the larger XRP community. All right, so before I sign off and let everyone get snacks and drinks, one important public service announcement. I'm excited to share with you guys that our 10th swell is gonna be a little bit different. As you guys know, the Swell has tended to cater towards the institutional audience. We've had separate events like Apex that is catered to developers, but we are excited to expand Swell to include not just financial institutions and payment providers or asset managers, but bring in the developers, bring in the investors, bring in the researchers, bring in the academics, and the broader XRP community who we've hosted at other events. This is gonna be one single beacon event. Will be hosted by Ripple next year, back here in New York City, and we look forward to welcoming you all there next fall.
Fantastic. And I want to attend the Apex events as well. I want to talk to developers. Like on the last night, I got to speak with Robert with Zaman Wallet. He's like the main guy with Zaman. He and Win are incredible, and I asked him a lot of questions about the wallet and about integration and about all that, and it's just incredible being able to ask those questions right at the source. And next year in New York, it's going to be Swell plus Apex in New York. Hopefully, I'll get to go next year. Hopefully, hint, hint, Ripple. Wow, but look at this. I mean, Times Square, you go down there and you see it's happening with Ripple. Ripple Payments Custody, stablecoins. In New York, everywhere in New York, on the subway, on the taxis, on the signage, on the bus stops. I mean, it's all about Ripple. It's all about payments, and the world is starting to see how big this is going to become. And I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the Uber drivers out there that I got a chance to hand my business card to, welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. I had so many great conversations with the Uber drivers that took me all over New York. We talked about crypto and blockchain and AI, and I want to welcome you to the channel as well as everybody else around the world. James Rule XRP. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll keep you updated on the latest and greatest news, but I'm going to recover from a little while, pinch myself again. Did I really get to go to New York? Yes, I did. Have a good one. James Rule XRP is out of here. And yep, I told you so.